Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Unique Visuals, and today we are going to take a look at the Dell Inspiron 155585. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first of all, we're going to go over the outer appearance. This computer is really slim. It has a nice, clean design with multiple ports, and it makes it really easy to use. I believe you can only get this computer in one color, which is kind of like a lighter gray. It's not a bad color, but I kind of wish there was a darker gray or a black version of it. Alright, so this computer is made completely out of plastic, but it feels really solid, which is a good thing. Alright, so this laptop has a 15.6 inch. There's a bug. That was weird. This computer has a 15.6 inch matte IPS display. It has very nice viewing angles, and it's anti-glare, so it prevents a lot of light from glaring straight off, so you can see your screen a whole lot better. The bezels on this computer are insane. They're super thin, and they just give a smaller computer with a bigger screen, which I like that a lot. The colors are pretty decent. It has a 53% sRGB. Alright, this computer has 240 nits brightness. I think that's what it's called. I think that's how you say it. The laptop in total is like 3.9 pounds maybe? It's around 4 pounds. It's super light and compacts a lot of features into it. On the bottom of this laptop, you will find the speakers. There's 2 speaker grills, and you will also find the exhaust fan, which I find is very quiet, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a sec. Alright, this computer also has 4.1 Bluetooth connectivity, something like that, 4.1 Bluetooth. Alright, so this is the look on the webcam of the Dell Inspiron. It's 720p. I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad, but I wouldn't really say it's good either. It's also the audio straight from the computer, but I think it's acceptable for Skype calls, but I wouldn't use it for like going live on YouTube or live on Facebook or anything like that. I did it because I just really wanted to get a live video out there. I just thought that would be cool. But I am looking into getting a better webcam, like an external webcam. So that's it for the camera. Let's continue with the video. Alright, so the next thing we're going to go over is the ports. On the left side, we have the power adapter, and then right next to that is the USB-C. USB-C supports DisplayPort and power delivery, which is a really nice feature. I actually have my computer or my laptop hooked up to this monitor back here through USB-C, which is really nice. One cable cleans everything up. Alright, then right next to the USB-C port is the HDMI port. Right next to that is 2 USB 2.0s, and then right next to that is the headphone jack. So now we're moving on to the right side. Alright, first of all, we have the wedge-shaped lock slot. Tongue twister, that is very hard to say. That took me forever. Right next to that, we have an Ethernet port, and then we have USB 3.1. And then right next to that, we have the SD card reader, and I use this all the time. Pretty great. Alright, so the trackpad is made of plastic. It's a very large size, super responsive, and you can use other gestures on it, so it's pretty great. Alright, so now we are moving on to performance, what you guys have all been waiting for. Alright, so we have the AMD Ryzen 7 3700U, and then along with that we have the Radeon RX Vega 10 graphics card. And this is one of the reasons why I got this computer, because it had a graphics card, and that was going to help me a lot with creating content. I think that's what graphic cards are for. So the specs are pretty good, but this thermal thought, and if you don't know what that is basically, it's really hard. I can't seem to remember anything on here. And this is basically when the computer thermal, which can mean when the laptop thermally thermal throttling, that is hard to say. Alright, so the specs can look pretty nice on the spec sheet. but I feel like I'm saying pretty nice a lot. And this is when the computer thermal throttles, and after the laptop reaches oh my word, what did I even write? I have no idea. Why is this taking so long? It shouldn't be that hard. Alright, so the specs can look pretty nice, but this computer suffers from harsh thermal throttling, which is basically, it's like after a certain temp, or after the computer reaches a certain temperature, this computer does thermal throttling. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but when it does that, it can like significantly reduce the performance of the computer. This normally happens when I'm exporting a video. It can get pretty bad, yeah. I was exporting, it was like a 2-minute video, just footage, and there was like a adjustment layer with a little bit of color grading on it, and it took well over 10 minutes. I'm not sure if that's what everybody deals with, but it doesn't seem like it should take that long for a 2-minute clip. Alright, so I think this laptop starts at, you may be able to get 4 gigabytes of RAM and like 128 gigs of SSD. Mine is 16 gigabytes of RAM and like 400, it's a weird number, hold on. Okay, so yeah, I think I have like 476 gigabytes of SSD, which is kind of a weird number. But yeah, it's halfway full, and I have a ton of footage on there, and it's only halfway full, so that's pretty good. It also has 16 gigabytes of RAM. I think I already mentioned this, but I only get to use 14 gigs because 2 gigabytes of that RAM is the Radeon graphics card. But I don't really think it's a big deal because I don't think I'm anywhere close to the limit that I can reach. The battery on this computer isn't terrible, but I wouldn't say it's the best. It's a 3-cell 42 watt-hour battery. On light usage, this should get you about 5 to 6 hours of battery life. But the way that I'm using it, video editing and watching videos and the different things that I'm doing, it doesn't last very long. So I have to kind of keep a charger near, but I wouldn't say it's dying constantly. Also, the estimates are pretty whack. Don't listen to the estimates because your computer will die before the estimate. Yeah, just a tip. Now we're just gonna check out the estimates and see what it says. 2 hours and 15 minutes at 40%. No, there's no way. Alright, so overall, it's a great laptop, but it really suffers from the thermal throttling. So I think if it didn't suffer from that, it would be so much of a better laptop. But still, it's really good, works for video editing. So if you're in my position and you don't want to spend over $2,000 on an Apple MacBook Pro, then I recommend the Dell Inspiron. I'll put it in the link description. Well, that wraps it up for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.